Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Monday. I know, it's Monday. It kind of sucks, but hey, we got the bright spot of your Monday evening here for you tonight with Flat Out Racing North America. We have our pro division here tonight for all you wonderful race fans watching live on Facebook and YouTube. And, well, as you can see with the lineup up in front of you there, pretty stacked lineup here in this division. So, round one last week was at Watkins Glen. We seen a pretty good show put on by these pro drivers, and Apex Racing's badass coming out on top. So, can he repeat it and go two races in a row on the top of the podium? We have Z Saunders here as well. In the lineup, we've got RR Ghost 45. We've got RR Magic Man, who is not in the race today. He does have a reserve driver in his place. Method Jr. will be on track. Doug is here with Bar 27. ATK's Cheater Tom. Ricardo Pickles. And Jay Stewart is also here. KCR Nieder, who's now a full-time driver for the pro division here. We have Knudsen, who is not in the race. We've got Apex Racing's Tattooed Freak in the race here this evening. Pork. And Yoni. And of course, Sir Churro, who had a great race last week and also finding his way onto the podium at round one at Watkins Glen. So, where are we this week? Everybody wonders. Nolander coming in with that thumbs up. ATK Streeter Tom up in the YouTube house going, you guys ready for a great race? Let's go, y'all. Hey, welcome in, everybody. Doug Bro and Bar 27 says Trone. Ooh, we got some fans up in the house. That is what we love to see. So, as you can see on the screen in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, this was ran last evening. We're going to bring it here to you tonight. But we got a little bit of a twist here this week's broadcast. We're going to bring in some of the guys who are available to do the live podium interviews right after this race is done. So changing things up here just a little bit for everyone. And then, of course, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, tentatively, of course, work based on my work, we'll be bringing Pro-Am 1 to you guys live here at GT45 Gaming and Flat Out Racing North America. Welcome to everybody on all the channels. All right, so two different types of strategy talk here, folks. Alsace Village over in France, very technical racetrack here. Our pro division, of course, driving the Jaguar GT3 race cars, as they will be racing these cars all season long, and going to be a bit of a difficult racetrack for these cars again. Like the Mercedes, a very big front heavy car, and this is a very twisty, undulating, elevation changing racetrack. So it's going to be interesting to see how our pro guys handle these cars around the racetrack here today. Strategies, again, there is a potential one-stop strategy in play here for those that want to brave it. I don't think it's the best strategy here for this particular week in this race, but you just never know. We've seen it work in some of the other divisions here already over the weekend. So one-stop strategy, of course, big, long, medium run with a shorter, soft tire run. You got to do some fuel saving. You don't want to do too much battling on the racetrack. You're kind of just letting guys go by you if they're pushing on you, so you're not wasting your race car. One-stop strategy, very difficult strategy here at Alsace Village, ladies and gentlemen. Two-stop strategy is probably going to be the most popular strategy here as we go through our final three races this week here with everybody, and we're going to see potential some guys start on the soft tires, run a short soft tire stint, jump to the mediums, and then finish with a short soft tire stint. Or we're going to see some of the guys start with the medium tires and then do two shorter soft tire stints after that. Of course, 13 drivers on the racetrack here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Anything can happen. Strategies may need to change on the fly. Nolander Gaming up in the house as well. Welcome in, my dude, over on Facebook Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Go show the man some love. Tell him GT45 Gaming sent you. So, presented by Flat Out Racing North America, ladies and gentlemen. It is sponsored by GTR Simulators and Apex Racing Team, and of course our beautiful graphics seen on stream here done by High Pre, with the exception of our beautiful drivers list we see from week to week and our track images you see on the right side of the screen there, who is done by our media guru Yoni, who is in this race here tonight. So should we move over to the race, ladies and gentlemen? We're stretching out the time here just a little bit. We're trying to keep her nice and pretty for everybody. Hope everybody's having a great week. I know the weekend's over, but hey, we got 3 nights of hot action racing here for everybody. This racetrack is a pretty fun racetrack, and it can provide some really good racing, much like we saw from our Elite Division broadcast live last night. Man, there was some great battling and action on the racetrack there in that race, and I suspect that these pro guys aren't going to be much different here either. We've seen these divisions are quite close. The racing has been quite intense, and so far the driver feedback is pretty fantastic here at Flat Out Racing North America Season 2. So let's flip it over. Let's go. Let's do this. You can see on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen there's some of the merch that is available from one of the sponsors, Apex Racing. They're in cooperation with Flat Out Racing. They've got some dual merch available, of course, at their website. So on the Facebook channel here, GT45 Gaming, and the Flat Out Racing YouTube, that link is posted in the comments section for anybody who is interested and want to go take a look. And, of course, go see what Apex Racing is all about as well. So, yeah, a little extra bonus for everybody here on the streams this week. And, of course, follow Flat Out Racing North America on Instagram at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. And I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. So, after a 10-minute qualifying session, ladies and gentlemen, this is how our grid stacks out for Round 2 Alsace Village Pro Division. We have ATK's Cheater Tom in first place with Jay Stewart in second. We have KCR Nieder in third place with Method right behind him. Apex's Badass, who finished first at Watkins Glen, in fifth with Bar 27 in sixth. We've got Apex's Tattooed Freak, the other Apex sponsored driver in the Pro Division, with Sir Churro, who finished on the podium last week as well, in eighth. Doug Burrow here in ninth place with Ricardo Pickles in 10th. We've got Pork in 11th. We've got Yanni, our media guru here at Flat Out Racing North America, in 12th place. And Ghost 45 here rounding out our field for our Pro Division today. So, ladies and gentlemen, are we ready for some racing? I sure hope we're ready for some racing, because I'm ready for some racing. This should be a fantastic race, so settle in, grab some snacks, get some bevies. Family-friendly broadcast, of course, ladies and gentlemen, so please feel free to let the kiddies come in and enjoy the action as well. Who doesn't like a race car going around the racetrack and guys battling for position for the next 45 minutes? I do. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, kick them tires, light them tires. It's time to go racing. And we've got 2, 3 red, 4 red, 5 red. At any time now, these guys are going to shoot off this line like a rocket. And here we go. And this race is off, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. ATK's Cheater Tom in the lead. Let's see what happens coming into turn 1 here. And Jay Stewart is going to go up the inside of Cheater Tom here. He's giving plenty of space. We got a Method there looking up the inside as well, but Cheater Tom is just going to hold off. So Jay Stewart moving quickly up into P1 here at the beginning of the race. A little bit of contact between Cheater Tom and Method here as we're coming around this sweeping left-hander. And look at all these cars coming through corners 2, 3, and 4 here. Absolutely great stuff. Jay Stewart taking a little bit of a semi-defensive line there, kind of cutting that line off from Method. And Cheater Tom has gotten into the grass there, and he's going to lose some positions here. Oh boy, he is dropping down the field. Apex is Badass here in 5th with Bar 27 in 5th place now, with Badass moving up into 4th. Sir Churro here in 6th place. We've got Ricardo in 7th. We've got Tattooed Freak here in 8th place. Doug Burrow here in 9th. And another driver off the track here in Bar 27. So 2 drivers having some very early issues. Ghost moving up into 10th place here. Bar 27 settling back into 11th. We got Yanni here in 12th. And Cheater Tom here after his spin sitting in 13th place. So whew, that was a little crazy right off the start of this race here, ladies and gentlemen. But Method now in the lead of the race, so he has gotten around Jay Stewart here on lap 1. We're getting near the end of this lap. Some great action here so far on the racetrack. So Method Jr. leading the charge here as we're coming near our beginning lap in this 25 lap race, ladies and gentlemen. So this is going to be a good one. And this is a tire eater, this racetrack. So tires are definitely going to play a factor here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go. So Jay Stewart coming up the hill here, still in second. He has KCR's Nieder right in behind here now. Apex is Badass in 4th place with Ricardo now up into 5th, very close behind. Sir Churro down into 6th place. Apex is Tattooed Freak here in 7th. We've got Doug in 8th place, and he's starting to chase down. We see a little bit of lag there from one of the drivers. We got Pork here in 9th place. Ghost in 10th here with Bar 27 chasing. Ooh, a little bit sideways there as he's coming around that final chicane. That's going to allow Yanni to gain some time on him here. Let's see if Yanni decides to make a move. Bar's going to go defensive as we're coming into turn 1 here. And Yanni's just going to give him his space here, but Cheater Tom taking advantage, and he's going to take a look up the inside here. Can he get the run on Yanni? Let's take a look. Let's jump in with Yanni here and see what he's looking at. He's going to try and make a move back on Bar, wrong side, Bar 27 here, and he's going to get the job done. Bar tucking in. Cheater Tom being very patient back there. He took a look, but realized that there wasn't enough time to make that move stick on that line. He just tucks into the back of the lineup. So great battling here in our mid-pack of the race here as well, ladies and gentlemen. Great stuff. And you see Yanni getting a little bit of a break there from the pack. So Flying Fox Racing, and a little bit of note on from Flying Fox Racing here, ladies and gentlemen, they have been officially sponsored with IMB Racewear. Now, the reason why we're bringing that up, ladies and gentlemen, is because question mark, potential next sponsor here at Flat Out Racing North America. Let's get some hashtags IMB up in the chats. Let's show this man some love. Show him how much we want him to become a part of what we're doing here at Flat Out Racing North America. Method in first place. Moving down the line here to Jay Stewart in second, and he is about a second behind Method here very early on in the race. We've got KCR Nieder very close behind here in third place. Let's get back to our TV cameras here, and Ricardo Pickles is really closing up, now moved all the way up in the fourth place here. So Sir Churro in fifth, Tattooed Freak now up in the sixth, and this driver is definitely having a little bit of lag issue here. We got Doug Burrow in seventh place, and he has pork all over the back end of his cars. We're coming downhill into the chicane here. Let's see if he's gonna. No, he's just gonna sit back. Again, it is a place you can make a move, but you got to commit if you're gonna try and make a move coming into this downhill chicane sector. And there we go. So pork in eighth. We've got Goes 45 here in ninth. We've got ATK Cheater Tom now up into 10th place here, chasing down Goes 45, Bar in tow. So not sure what's happened there. Yanni just falling off the pace a little bit, maybe making a mistake in 12th place. Apex is Badass coming into pit lane here. So something happening to him, changing up his strategy a little bit. Maybe he's just fixing some damage. Maybe he's going to take some tires. We're not sure. But this has been an interesting race here thus far in the Pro Division tonight. We're only on lap 3, ladies and gentlemen, and we have no game sound. Thanks, Tron. Appreciate you. You're right. There we go. We got game sound. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you. Method in first place. So Jay Stewart here in second, and he is really got a mirror full of Nieder, who's got a mirror full of Pickles here to deal with as well. So some battling going on. So much like those elite guys last night, we are seeing great battles happening very early on in the race, and Ricardo Pickles going to move up into P3 here. Is Nieder going to... No, Pickles is going to defend that off, but Nieder might be looking for that short line coming out of the corner. Now he's just going to settle in behind. He's, yeah, okay, it's early enough in the race yet. You want it that bad, go ahead, you take it. And we'll see where we all settle at the end of the night here. So Pickles now up into third place. Nieder dropping back to fourth here. Sir Churro in fifth, starting to close up on that front pack here. Tattooed Freak very close in tow here as well. And all these drivers still quite close together. Doug Burrow here in seventh place, and he still has pork all over the rear bumper of that Jaguar as they come down the hill into this final chicane sector here. And see if Doug opts to go defensive. I doubt it. Most of these guys aren't really going to battle through this part of the racetrack. It's not worth risking your race car clipping one of these walls on one of the way through the corners here. So you can see some very good patience showing there by 8th place driver Pork, and Ghost 45 coming around there in 9th place, almost clipping that wall there. Cheater Tom starting to gain on this driver. Bar 27 here in 11th place, falling just a little bit off of Cheater Tom. Yanni in 12th place here, and Apex Badass now after making his pit stop, just coming through that final chicane sector. So he has some time to make up last week's winner, ladies and gentlemen. So you just never know what's going to happen here in racing. PD coming in with that like and that share too. Much love. Stefan Waters coming in with that share. Much love, my brother. Much love. Or Steven. Sorry if I mispronounced. So our leader is starting to pull away here, but now Jay Stewart's under fire by Ricardo Pickles here as well. So let's see if we can get some good camera action happening here as Pickles backing off, coming through that corner. It's a tough corner, that corner. So again, good passing opportunity if you can get a line before you get to the corner. But if you don't have that line going into that corner, you can see these guys just opt to stay single file and try to make up that time through some of these more high-speed sweeping corners. Hey, appreciate you, Tron. Alright, so Jay Stewart with Ricardo Pickles kind of pushing, but not really putting the pressure on him. But if Pickles can get a good run on LJ here, I think we're going to see an attempted move from Pickles. So we're going to let the TV crews take back over here for a minute. And you can see Pickles really taking a look here. He's going to get just a little inside of LJ there. And nope, he's just going to back out there. Yeah, LJ's going to tuck right back in front. And they're going to go single file through this uphill sector. There may have been just a smidge of contact there. And Pickles may have just backed off there to be like, whoops, sorry, mate, didn't mean to do that. And race back on. We are going to go 2x2 coming down through the hills here. Ricardo's going to take a really wide entry here. He's going to look for a really short, fast exit as we come around here. LJ doing a pretty good, or Jay Stewart, sorry, doing a pretty good job of cutting it off. Now, Rockefeller Racing's LJ Super Ninja, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I keep saying LJ. Jay Stewart on screen. My apologies. But Ricardo Pickles absolutely putting all kinds of pressure on our second place driver here. So battle on the podium here right now. And KCR Neater just chilling back here. Second behind these guys going, yes, keep battling, boys. You just wear those race cars out. And I'm just going to come in a little bit later in the stint and pass both of you. So Neater's in a pretty good position here in fourth place. Just a second behind these battling drivers for second and third place. Sir Churro looking like he is starting to close in on Neater a little bit here as well. Slowly closing that gap up on Neater up in front. So both those drivers showing some pretty good pace here very early on. Tattooed Freak still in sixth place and has lost the last half of the group here a little bit. He's slowly starting to get caught up to that pack up in front. Pork, who was very close to Doug there, now getting around up in seventh place here and is starting to catch up to Tattoo Freak. So ATK's Cheater Tom here now up into 8th place. So this driver's on a mission here currently, falling all the way to the back of the pack, now up back into 8th place here. Doug Burrow in 9th place chasing. You can see Yoni now up into 10th with Bar 27 here in 11th. Ooh, little slide going into that corner there. He did take a look, but the slide prevented. Oh, and he's going to get into the grass there. Nice recovery there by Bar 27. Apex's Badass now up into 12th place after whatever issue he had there, and moving his way up the track there now, and goes 45 all the way back down into P13 here, and quite a ways off the rest of the pack here. So must have had to make a pit stop here for some reason. So Method here now in first place, and he has a pretty good sized lead here. As you can see, the rest of the drivers just coming into the chicane sector, and he's coming out of it here. So Pickles has gotten around Jay Stewart here for second place, and Jay Stewart now settling into the final podium position here. We're only on lap 6, ladies and gentlemen. There's plenty of racing left to go here yet tonight for our Pro Division drivers. KCR Neater here is in fourth place and just really maintaining that gap from this front pack here right now. So I definitely think that this driver is playing some strategy here. We've got Sir Churro in 5th place. We've got Tattoo Freak here in 6th. We've got Pork in 7th. We've got Cheater Tom now in 8th place chasing, and he has a little bit of time to make up to that front pack here, but let's see what he can do. We got Doug up into 9th place, and Yoni in 10th is getting very, very close here. So potential battle happening for 10th and 9th place here between these two drivers. Oh, and Yoni's going to go inside there. Maybe a little miscalculation, maybe a little overspeed, maybe Doug tapped the brakes there, but you can definitely see a reaction from Yoni there in that Jaguar. They're not able to get around Doug in that particular instance there, as he just opted to back out, not to cause a situation for either one of the two drivers. Bar 27 here in 11th, and he's just got those guys up ahead, and we're going to jump back up there as we see Yoni going to get the job done around Doug there, coming around that tight right-handed corner. So Yoni now moving up into 9th place, Doug dropping down into the final 10th or top 10 spot here, and Bar 27 chasing. Apex is Badass here in 12th place, still charging up the road, trying to close that gap up to Bar and Doug up ahead, and goes 45 here, trying to do much of the same thing, head down and just trying to put his paces in here, see if he can catch up to this pack, and really taking some short fast lines there, doing everything he can to try and catch up to this absolutely quick group of drivers here in our Pro Division. So Method looking very strong very early on here in the race, and just cruising right now, starting to build a nice little tidy gap here on the second and third place drivers, Ricardo Pickles and Jay Stewart. But you can see Pickles is broken free a little bit here now, so he's starting to be able to run his pace that he wants to run, and he has broke away from our third place driver Jay Stewart and trying to track down our leader Method here now. So continuing down our road here, no battles really happening up front, just patient driving here is what we're seeing from our group top 5 drivers here. Really, you see Sir Churro, sorry, is starting to close in on KCR Neater a little bit here, but not pushing the issue at all with them here. Just being patient and using a little bit of slipstream here to save some fuel and tire in the car, and no need to really force the issue here this early on in the race. So some smart driving here by some of the mid-pack drivers. We got Tattoo Freak here. He's starting to close up on these guys a little bit as well, so he is going to be in the mix for this battle here very soon. Pork in 7th place here. He was trying to chase Tattooed down here, and he's fairly close too. So this mid-pack starting to develop into a 5-6 car battle here. We got ATK Cheater Tom here. He's starting to close up on this pack as well. You can see that gap is definitely starting to close up on the map on the top right-hand side of the screen there. Of course, the driver we're on is that red arrow, so you can see he is starting to close in on that group of cars up ahead of him. Yanni in 9th place here, and he still has Doug chasing very close in 10th. Doug hasn't let Yanni get away from him here, and Bar 27 again trying to close those two drivers up just ahead of him there. Apex Racing's badass. He's just slowly chipping away at these guys here. You can see Bar just up ahead of him as he comes around the corner there, so he knows he's making up some time. And Ghost 45 here doing everything he can. Let's see if some pit strategy can help this driver out to catch back up to the pack here. We've seen it happen so far early on in the season from some of these races, and our leader coming into pit lane here. So Method coming in on lap 7, coming into lap 8. And he's going to take some tires, and he is definitely going to take some fuel. Yes, he's going to take some fuel. So let's move back up our charts here. That means Ricardo Pickles is going to take the race lead here on lap 8, and Jay Stewart's going to move back up into 2nd place. KCR Nieder now in 3rd place behind. We have Tattoo Freak now moving up into 4th place. We have ATK Cheater Tom back up into 5th. We've got Yoni now up into 6th place. That's going to put Doug in 7th as he comes around here. Bar 27 here in 8th, and Apex is badass now up into 9th place with those pit stops. Method's going to come out in 10th place here. Sir Churro also opting to pit. He's going to come out in 11th. Pork is coming out here in 12th place. He's going to stay out in 12th place. And Ghost just coming up to the back of this pack here. So a little bit of hope here for our back driver here as some of these guys making a pit stop. So again, see if he can make some pit strategy work for him to try and gain some positions before the end of the race here. But Ricardo Pickles is now the man everybody is chasing here on the racetrack, and he's looking pretty solid. We got Anthony coming in with that like and a share. We got Corey coming in with the like as well. Much love, everybody. How is everybody doing? Hey, how's it going? I'm fantastic. I hope you're doing well too. Welcome into all our returning viewers, and if you're new to the broadcast, whether it be on GT45 Gaming or Flat Out Racing North America YouTube and you're viewing, welcome. I hope you're enjoying the racing. If you could do us all a favor and just like and share this out one time for us, it's something free that everyone can do to help the pages grow. That'd be fantastic. And if you want to continue seeing more races like this, just hit that little subscribe button there on YouTube. Turn on all those live notifications. You'll never miss another amazing live moment here at Flat Out Racing North America, sponsored by GTR Simulators and Apex Racing. Question mark, I am B Raceware. KCR Nieder starting to close in on Jay Stewart here as we see Ricardo Pickles now coming into pit lane, and that's going to put Jay Stewart in the lead of the race. You can see him real hard on the brakes there as you see the nose of that car really dive into the pavement there. And you can see that the undulations and the elevation changes in this racetrack can also make it a little difficult for these cars with these aerodynamic packages that is built into these Group 3 Jaguars. So they're quite low to the ground, and some of these undulations, these cars are most certainly scraping, potentially depending on where you're going in and how you're going into it. So Tattooed Freak is now up on the podium position here in 3rd place. We've got Cheater Tom now up into 4th place. Apex is badass back up into 5th here. We got Doug in 6th and Bar 27 in 7th, and boy, there is a train of cars there, and Method all over Bar 27 here. So I think Method is going to be taking a look here, and he is. He's just going to go up the inside there. You can see no contest there really from Bar 27. Bar 27 just realized he came out of pit lane. He's most likely on fresh tires, and Method moving back up the racetrack here. So chasing down Doug Burrow there now in 6th place. Sir Churro here in 9th, ladies and gentlemen, and he was our 5th place driver, looking very solid there. So this is one of these drivers I think we're going to have to watch out for here tonight. Ricardo Pickles in 10th, who was looking very racy early on in this race as well, making his first stop of the night here. We have Pork in 11th, and again another driver who has made a stop here in the race. Yoni in 12th place has also now made a pit stop, and Ghost 45 now coming in to make a pit stop here as well. Alright, so Jay Stewart, he is in the lead up the road, coming up to the top of the hill. We're coming downhill now. This is a very difficult sector. The cars are coming very, very quickly into the chicane. This is a braking zone. It's a heavy braking zone here. and you just got to get the nose to stay down so the arrows will suck this car around the corner and just try to catch every apex along the way around. So it's a lot of throttle and brake control as you come through that sector. So Jay Stewart now coming into pit lane, Tattooed Freak following. KCR Nieder is going to go around again. He's now going to take the race lead. So we've now seen 4 different race leaders here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Stewart in pit lane, Tattooed Freak in pit lane, Cheater Tom now coming into pit lane. Badass is going to go around again. So that should give him second place as he comes around corner 1 here. And yes, so Apex is Badass now up into second place. Doug Burrow's going to come around here. Boy, oh boy, it is just a pit of action here. We got a driver coming out of pit lane, and we're now 3 wide coming into corner 1 here. And woo, well done to those drivers. Great job on great racing awareness on the racetrack by Jay Stewart, Doug Barrow, and Method Jr. right there. And boy, oh boy, there's a battle brewing in behind with Bar 27 and Sir Churro as well. So we got 5 little mini battles happening all in front of our eyes here, ladies and gentlemen. What a crazy race we're seeing here so far tonight. Ooh, doggy, it is getting intense. So Method is going to settle back up into P3 here with Jay Stewart in 4th place, still putting some pressure on him here. And this is going to turn out to be a doozy by the way things are looking here very early on in this race. We're not even halfway through, and it is just passes and moves and battles everywhere around the racetrack here in this Pro Division lobby tonight. And it looks like Jay Stewart's just going to settle in behind here for the time being. We've got Doug in 5th, still holding Sir Churro off, but Sir Churro is going to be on fresher compounded tire here. So is Doug going to try and hold this driver up a little bit, play some defense, or is he just going to let him get around? I know Doug quite well. He's not the type to just let somebody go around here unless he just absolutely knows that driver is quicker. And you can see him just take the racing line there. That is enough just to kind of make the move not simple for Sir Churro. So he is making Sir Churro work for it here right now, ladies and gentlemen. And that is racing at its finest. Hey, wow, absolutely. That was some great 3-way action coming through corner 1 there with the driver coming out of pit lane. Sir Churro looking for the cutback and cannot get it done. Doug is absolutely making Sir Churro to work for this pass, and oh, Doug almost getting into the grass. A great job by him to keep it underneath, and he still keeps Sir Churro in behind. And Sir Churro is going to take a look here as we come into the chicane now. This is going to be interesting. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, side by side down through the hill here, and Sir Churro's going to have the right line. Doug's going to have to back out just a little bit here. Sir Churro getting the job done up into P5. We got Apex's Badass now coming into pit lane. Whew, what a battle we have going here. Sir Churro back up into 4th place. Doug now in 5th. Bar 27 in 6th. We got Ricardo Pickles now in 7th. We got Tattooed Freak and Cheater Tom right here now. Dude, we have a massive gaggle of cars here, all battling for position up this racetrack, trying to gain as much ground as they can. And Tattooed Freak's going to take a look there. Just getting some fresh air into that car. Tuck in behind Ricardo Pickles. Let's see if we see something happen coming into the next corner here. Tattooed Freak is going to take a look. He's going to go down the inside. So, ooh, and a little bit of lag there. Nice inside move response there by Ricardo Pickles. And now Cheater Tom's going to take a look up the inside of Tattooed Freak here as well. He just backs out a little bit there. Didn't want to risk it as he's having a great recovery drive here so far in 9th place behind this, right in the last part of this pack here. But great racing showing by all 4 of these pro drivers here right now. And ooh, we have Pork now starting to come into the equation here. Cheater Tom looking for a way around Tattooed Freak here. And ooh, Bar 27 making a little bit of a mistake there. Seeing a little bit of contact between him and Cheater Tom there. And Tattooed Freak is a little bit wide out of the corner. I should know Tattooed Freak's going to respond back. Bar 27 now up the inside here. And boy, oh boy, what a battle these 3 are having. And Cheater Tom looking for the cutback as they're coming in around, but that's going to put him on the outside coming into the next corner here. But it should put him on the inside of the hairpin if you can stick it out with Bar 27 here. No, he's going to get out in front before the hairpin. Ooh, really hard on the brakes there, keeping that car underneath him. Great driving here by these 3 drivers. ATK Cheaters Tom now in 7th place. Tattooed Freak here in 8th place, and Bar 27 chasing here. So that was a great 3-way battle between these drivers for 7th, 8th, and 9th place. And ooh, Bar 27 getting it wrong there. So Pork is going to grab a spot on Bar 27 and jump up into 9th place. So Bar 27 dropping down into 10th. We have Yoni here in 11th place. We've got Apex's Badass now in 12th after that pit stop. We're getting real close to Yoni here, and goes 45 with a juicy 3-second penalty there. Pit lane infraction for this driver. That is going to hurt his chances on catching up to this pack here as he's coming around the racetrack here. So KCR Nieder still in 1st place, and he is not pit yet. So I guess the bigger question is, has he opened up a big enough gap to maintain this race lead when he decides to make his pit stop here? What's up, man? In bed, so I'll probably just pretty shortly. Hope all is well. Hey, good night, my man. If you nod off, cheers. We appreciate you, my dude. No game sound. There's game sound. There's definitely game sound, my dude. Reset the app, Ian, maybe. Ian coming in with that like and that share as well. That would be my suggestion. If all of a sudden you just lose something or it starts lagging out, or it starts freezing up, reset the app and then turn it back on. It should be good to go. I can hear it in my headset, so it should be working. Jay Stewart here in P2, ladies and gentlemen, and a little bit of a gap here between, of course, these drivers and Nieder, but when is Nieder going to pit? That's why we were sitting on this driver. I was waiting for him to come into pit lane, and he's catching up to what appears to be Ghost 45 up in front of him here, so we know Jay Stewart is chasing him, and the only other pink car on the racetrack is Ghost 45, his teammate here, so Ghost 45 under attack by the leader here midway through the race. So not having the best race is our last place driver here, Ghost 45, and you can see Nieder chasing him down. He's going to go around again. So Jay Stewart coming through the chicane here right now in second place. So I'm going to say it's probably about a 10 or 11 second gap between our first and second place driver. Sir Churro in third place, chasing down Jay Stewart here. We've got ATK Cheater Tom and Ricardo Pickles having a battle coming down the chicane. And it's unfortunate we just missed that battle here, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have those live action replays available here on GT7 yet, but ATK Cheater Tom getting the job done with Ricardo Pickles in the chicane there. And it looks like Tattooed Freak benefited from all of that battling from those two drivers, as he is right on the back end of this pack here. Pork in 7th place, and he is under attack by Method Jr. here. And ooh, let's go. No, Pork is going to hold that inside line there. He's going to force Method out as wide as he can here, not give him that nice juicy way around this corner. And you can see Method's like, all right, I'll play this game with you. I'm just going to back off a little bit and make sure I get the line I want. And I'm taking a look on the inside there. He just isn't able to get around. Pork getting that curb, and that curb really upsetting that Jaguar there. A little bit of contact between the two drivers, but battle on. Here we go, looking for the cutback as we come around this sweeper. And Method looking good, but Pork battling well, defending this well here as he got the inside of this next corner. However, this corner you can get a couple different lines through, so both drivers able to get a really good run here with Junior. Method Junior just not able to get the job done. Pork is making life very difficult for him here. This is a battle for 7th and 8th place, ladies and gentlemen, and Method Junior tucking back in behind here. Let's see if he can make anything happen after we come out of this huge sweeping high-speed right-hand corner. Again, very technical racetrack here. You can see elevation changes all over the place. It's very undulating. It's very twisting and turning. You can see these cars are making plenty of corners around the racetrack here 25 times tonight. So looking like Pork has got a little bit of a better run on Method here now. Currently, we do have our leader now pitting. So let's jump in with that. Nieder now in pit lane making his stop. So one of these drivers potentially on a one-stop strategy here based off when we're seeing him come into pit lane. And we'll show you guys some information here shortly. So Jay Stewart's going to come around with the race lead here again. Sir Churro now is going to move up into second place. Nieder's still in pit lane in third, whereas Tattooed Freak going to come out in comparison. Cheater Tom is going to move up into third. Tattoo's going to move up into fourth. Ricardo is going to grab 5th place. So Nieder's probably taking a full load of fuel here. Pork and Method also coming around now, grabbing that position back on KCR Nieder here. Still in pit lane, now coming out. So is he going to come out in front of or just behind Apex Racing's Badass here? Very short pit lane here, so quite potentially going to come out in front. And it does appear that he does come out in front as he's just going up the hill here to make turn 2 run. So Badass chasing KCR Nieder, Yoni in 10th. We got Doug in 11th, Bar in 12th, and Ghost 45 here in P13. So let's get back to the front of our pack here, and we are with Jay Stewart, who is on a little bit of a different strategy. And while we're talking about these different strategies from these drivers, let's let you guys take a look for yourselves here, shall we? Alright, we got you, Ian. We got you, brother. Alright. So, LJ here on the racing softs. Again, this driver is on an apparent 2-stop strategy here from what he's showing in this race. So this driver is going to have to make another stop at some point in the race. We have Sir Churro also on the soft tire. Again, another driver looking like he is on a 2-stop strategy here tonight. Is going to have to make another stop before the end of this race. We've got ATK's Cheater Tom here, who is also looking like he is on a 2-stop race here tonight. He has had a good recovery so far here, all the way back up into P3 from the back of the pack, starting on pole position here tonight. He has to stop again at some point in the race. Tattooed Freak here as well, also looking like he's on a 2-stop strategy. In 4th place is going to have to make another stop. Ricardo Pickles also on a 2-stop strategy here tonight, and looking like he is going to have to make another stop at some point here in the race. Now, when it is these drivers are going to opt to make that stop is undetermined at this point. We'll have to continue to watch to find out. But Pork here in 6th place again, another one of them drivers who looks like he is, I believe, on a 2-stop strategy here, and a little bit off the front group here. We're starting to see a little bit of separation due to the pit strategy difference. Method here as well, also looking like he's on a 2-stop strategy here, and he is again going to have to pit at some point in time, also carrying a little bit of front aero damage there, which is going to slow that car down a little bit. Not ideal. Nieder, who looks like he is on a 1-stop strategy, and the only driver attempting a 1-stop strategy here in the race tonight, sitting here in 8th place. Apex's Badass chasing here in 9th, who is on a alternative strategy due to an early race incident, whether it be just self-induced or contact on the racetrack. We did miss the incident, so we're not sure, but looking like a 2-stop strategy still nonetheless from this driver as well. We'll have to stop again. Yanni, maybe also on a 1-stop strategy here, as I don't know if he has stopped yet or not. I believe he has, but I can't quite recall. Doug Burrow here is definitely on a 2-stop strategy here, here in 11th place, and does have to stop one more time yet throughout the race. Bar 27 also on a 2-stop strategy, will have to stop again here during the race. And Ghost 45 also on a 2-stop strategy here, will have to stop at some point again here in the race, and just not having the best of days here as this driver was still on track putting in his paces. So you know, that's what we always say here at Flat Out Racing North America. The drivers need to just keep going and keep doing it, because track time is track time at the end of the day, and it helps with the mental strength of racing as well, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll continue on. You just got to keep continuing on. Jay Stewart here in 1st, and holding about a 9/10 of a second to a 1-second lead on Sir Churro here in behind. So you can see a little bit of better tires here from Sir Churro behind Jay Stewart, but at the end of the day, we're probably going to see both these drivers stop at the same time. ATK Cheater Tom starting to try and reel those 2 drivers in up front here in 3rd place. We have Tattooed Freak here in 4th place, having himself a nice little dandy of a race here, also trying to catch up to that podium group just up in front. Ricardo Pickles here, who we've seen very racy tonight, in 5th place, just a little bit off of Tattooed Freak, but not too far. Anything could happen here for any of these drivers. You have Pork in 6th place, and he's got a little bit of a gap. He's about 3-4 seconds behind Ricardo Pickles up ahead here, and of course he has a little bit of space between him and Method currently on the racetrack. Method here in 7th place. KCR Nieder, one of our 1-stop drivers here, up into 8th position. Apex Badass still chasing here in 9th place, slowly starting to close in on Nieder up ahead. Yanni is now holding out our top 10 here from Flying Fox Racing in 10th place again, I think. Maybe 1-stop strategy, but I can't quite remember. Could be a 2. I'm not. He's the only driver I'm 100% unsure about. Doug Burrow here in 11th place. We've got Bar 27 in 12th, and again, Ghost 45 here in 13th. So, back to our race leader. No real battling happening here at the moment on the racetrack. So, I guess the bigger question is, when is it that these drivers decide to make their second stop of the night? Let's go Pickle, says Corey. Hey. Lots of different fans in the chat here tonight. We'd love to see that. I've been ignoring poor Flat Out Racing North America's chat. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, welcome. Alright. Such a bad broadcaster, just ignoring a whole chat like that. I'm sorry, guys. Lots of love. We just get so involved in our work here that we forget the simple things sometimes. ATK Cheater Tom here in 2nd place now, with Sir Churro making his pit stop here. So looking for an undercut potentially is Sir Churro. Tattooed Freak here in 3rd place, with Ricardo Pickles now going to move up into 4th place with that pit stop. Pork going to jump up into 5th. Method going to jump up into 6th. Nieder up into 7th. Badass is going to grab 8th place as well with that pit stop. Sir Churro now coming out here and will hold 9th place as he comes out of pit lane. Yanni is just coming around turn 1, so a little bit of time gain here for Yanni, and Doug Burrow, who's starting to close in on this driver as well, just up ahead of him here. So Bar 27 here in 12th place, just off of these guys, a second and a half, 2 seconds behind Doug Burrow, and Ghost 45 under some pressure here from Pork. So let's just stick with this here and see how this situation brews out for these drivers. Ooh, Ghost getting a little bit wrong there, but he manages to keep it together. And he's coming around here, so showing some pace here. Just looks like this driver's had a little bit of a tough go here early on in the race, and he's just suffering the consequences here for it now. So Let's see if he's aware that Pork is there. He is aware. You can see him actually just pull off the racetrack a little bit there, let off the throttle, let Pork get through, not to slow him down. So great job there by our final driver in the field here tonight. So Jay Stewart coming around here, and I am going to say he's probably going to be pitting this lap. If not, I'll be really, really surprised. ATK Cheater Tom here in second place, chasing, and a little bit of gap there from him to Jay Stewart up ahead, but not enough for Jay Stewart to stay ahead of ATK Cheater Tom when he finally does opt to make that pit stop. And I'm assuming he's going to be now. It does look that way. It is. Cheater Tom going to follow him in. So does Tattooed Freak follow these two in? He does. So our top three drivers all coming into pit lane. Pickle's going to come in as well. Yes. So our top four now in pit lane. We have Pork coming around. Is Pork going to jump in with these guys? No. Pork is going to go around again. So race lead will now go to Pork as he comes around. He will now be our fifth driver tonight here, ladies and gentlemen, who has led this race at Alsace Village. So some great battling been happening here through our pro division tonight. Method, just a train of cars in behind him, is going to jump back up into second place. Nieder's going to move back up into third. Apex is Badass now going to move up into fourth place. We got Sir Churro in fifth. We've got ATK's Cheater Tom here in sixth, with Jay Stewart right in behind him in seventh place. We got Doug in eighth place with Yoni in tow. Bar 27 right there in behind. Tattoo Freak right there in 11th place. Ricardo in 12th, and Ghost 45 in 13th. So he's got another driver chasing here, and you can see again that driver just giving way to that driver and just letting him get down the road. So great driving here by all our drivers. All right. So to our new race leader here currently on the racetrack, Pork. But again, this driver is still owing a pit stop here in the race. So looking for an overcut strategy here. It could work in his favor, it could not. It all depends on what he does here for his pace around the track for the next 1 or 2 laps before he does finally opt to make that final pit stop of his race. We got Method in second place here, and a little bit of lag coming from that driver here currently. And looks like just a little lobby issue there as it's all sorted out. So interesting. Badass in third place, putting all kinds of pressure on Method here. And a little bit of tap, a little bit of push, a little bit of hurry up, let's get through the corner. And you can see Nieder's going to try and take advantage of that here. He's going to stick his nose inside, but being very patient is Nieder here tonight. Lots of race left yet. We still got 5.5 laps remaining here in the race, so no need to wreck that race car unnecessarily. So you can just see him go, yeah, you know what, I'm going to let these two guys battle it out, wear the race cars out a little bit, and I'm just going to wait to see if one of these guys makes a mistake. So here we go. Again, Nieder is on a one stop and does know that most of these drivers are going to have to stop, so maybe that's where the patience comes in, and we just see it happen as Nieder now takes the lead of the race back on the one-stop strategy here. So Sir Churro now chasing in second place. He is the first driver on that two-stop and went for that undercut. Is it going to pay off for him? Jay Stewart here in third place with ATK Cheater Tom in fourth, now chasing him. Method in fifth, and he had good pace early on in the race with Tattooed Freak chasing him now up into sixth. Pickles in seventh place with Pork in eighth. We got Badass in pit lane, we got Yanni in pit lane, we got Doug in pit lane, we got Bar 27 in pit lane. Is this maybe an opportunity for this driver to try and grab a little bit of track position back? He's quite a ways away from the racetrack, so I'm going to say no, but he probably unlapped himself there from those drivers. So track position is track position any way you spin it, ladies and gentlemen. So still on track, still putting in his paces here. Sir Churro in second place, and he is closing in on Nieder in front here. Let's jump on board with Nieder here, as this is kind of what he's got to see here right now in first place. Now he knows he's on different strategies than the driver behind him. Tire difference really isn't too far apart from these two drivers currently right now, but Sir Churro definitely does have the fresher tire, and he may have more fuel to be able to push more than Nieder up in front. So let's jump on with second place driver Sir Churro here. And you can see Jay Stewart and ATK Cheater Tom just coming up the hill about a second, maybe 1.2 seconds behind these two. So little battles developing all over the racetrack, and especially up at the lead of the race here, which we love to see, of course. That's the whole point of racing, is to battle it out right to the finish line here, and it's kind of lining up to be one of these battles here tonight, as Nieder is under fire from Sir Churro here. Sir Churro got a really good exit out of there, and he is going to try and get the job done up the inside of KCR's Nieder here, and he is going to get the pass made, moving up into first place. So Great job there by Sir Churro now to take the lead of the race, and I believe, yes, he has led the race at one point. So we still have 5 different drivers who have led this race, and it's been a great battle between these drivers here up front all race long. So Nieder here in second place on the one-stop strategy. He's against all these two-stop guys, and Jay Stewart here with ATK Cheater Tom all over the back end of his car here. So these two have been battling pretty healthily here in third and fourth place behind Sir Churro and Nieder battling for second and first place. And now this is very quickly becoming a 4-way battle potentially for the race lead here. We're going to stick with this as Jay Stewart's taking a look on Nieder on the inside here. Is he going to get the job done? He's going to come around. He's going to slot just in front of Nieder. Nieder dropping down to P3, and now Nieder is under attack from ATK Cheater Tom. Is Cheater Tom going to take a look here? He's just going to sit in behind as we're coming around this. Is he going to look for a cutback coming out of the exit? He is going to take a look. Does he get the run? Ooh, he's going to go, he's just going to tuck right in behind there. Nieder closing that off, making sure there's no line there for him to try and get inside of him, beside him there. And Nieder doing a great job defending there, getting a little bit sideways there, losing just touch of Jay Stewart just a smidge up in front. But he's in a tough position here right now as he is trying to chase back down that second place driver in Jay Stewart, not lose the leader, and also watch out for ATK Cheater Tom here in third place or fourth place, trying to get into the podium position here. And this is a crazy battle up front here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know. I don't want to leave it. I feel like if I leave it, we're going to miss something here. But we do need to go through our field here just to see where everybody else is at. But we're going to stick with this just for a minute here as ATK Cheater Tom is still putting the pressure on KCR's Nieder here. And this is a cracking battle here for podium positions in the Pro Division here in round 2. So here we go. ATK Cheater Tom is going to take a look up the inside as we come around this first sweeper around El Sachet Village here on lap 21 of 25, and KCR Nieder is going to give up position 3 to ATK Cheater Tom there. Not really much he can do as ATK Cheater Tom is just on fresher tires. So Nieder now trying to hold down fourth place here as he has Ricardo Pickles chasing in fifth. Pork behind him in 6th place with Apex Racing's Badass now up into 7th. Tattooed Freak in 8th. Just behind them here, Doug Burrow in 9th. Bar 27 in 10th. We've got Yanni in 11th. And we've got Ghost 45 in 12th. So we've lost a driver here, ladies and gentlemen. We are missing. Who are we missing? We're missing Method. So something has happened to Method, ladies and gentlemen. Really unfortunate there for that driver. So that's 2 divisions this week that we've seen a driver have a full mechanical malfunction of their race car and have to pull out of the race before the race is over. Super unfortunate, but we have 2 drop rounds available for our races here at Flat Out Racing North America. Again, ladies and gentlemen, sponsored by GTR Simulators and Apex Racing. Of course, I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate everyone's support. Alright, so Sir Churro here in the lead, and he is trying to hold the charge off from Jay Stewart and ATK Cheater Tom in second and third place. The best case scenario for Sir Churro right now, the way this is sorting out, is to hope that these 2 drivers opt to battle it out behind him, and that continues to allow him to build a gap. Cheater Tom coming in fastest lap with a 1:49.871. Very quick lap here by ATK's Cheater Tom, ladies and gentlemen. We got Nieder in 4th place, and he is just doing everything he can now to hold that position from Ricardo Pickles and Pork chasing in 5th and 6th place behind. We have Apex's Badass just coming down the chicane here right now to start lap 22 for him. In 7th with that teammate Tattooed Freak right behind in 8th place. We got Doug Burrow in 9th place with Bar 27 rounding out our top 10 now. Coming around that final corner here to start his 22nd lap of the race. We've got Yoni coming around here in 11th, and Ghost a lap behind these guys on lap 21 here, coming around as well. So still has a lead lap car chasing him down here as well. So Sir Churro now in 1st place, and ATK Cheater Tom has gotten around Jay Stewart here. So Jay Stewart now dropping back into 3rd place. So ooh, doggy, we have ourselves something brewing here. I think we've got 2.5 laps remaining. 3.5 laps remaining. My apologies, my math is bad. It's hard apparently. remaining here in our race tonight. And Sir Churro looking very strong so far, but boy, he has some heat coming with ATK Cheater Tom and Jay Stewart in behind as they are trying to catch up to him. KCR Neater still doing a fantastic job here in 4th place. Not quite getting that entry right, but coming out of it really great there. Pickles and Pork not that far behind him here at this point, 4 or 5 seconds chasing, and Pork is really starting to close up on Pickles here. You can see him really close up on the braking here as we come through that hairpin, but Pickles gets a good exit there and starts to gain a little bit of that gap back. So a little battle developing for 5th and 6th place here as well. We got Big Pax's Badass here in 7th place with Tattooed Freak starting to close up on him here in 8th. We got Doug up in the 9th place. We got Bar 27 here in 10th, and all these drivers are really starting to close up on each other here. Yoni in 11th and Ghost 45 here in 12th, and I believe Yoni's actually catching up to Ghost here. So again, in that blue flag situation, Ghost is just going to let him go around here. He knows that there's a battle potentially up there for Yoni, and he's just going to get out of the way, let that driver go through. So Sir Churro in the lead still, and something tells me we better be watching these guys before the end of this race here, ladies and gentlemen, because Sir Churro has about a 2-second gap on ATK Cheater Tom, who has about a 1.2 second gap on Jay Stewart here in 3rd place. All 3 of these drivers can see each other, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can close each other up here before the end of this race. Neater in 4th place, and he's kind of in no man's land at the moment. Not the worst spot to be in the position he's in on the 1-stop, but 2-stop guys chasing him. So nice healthy gap from Ricardo Pickles and Pork in behind here, who haven't started battling yet, but potential battle is going to start kicking off between these 2 drivers here before this race is over as well. Badass here in 7th place. You can see teammate Tattoo Freak just coming in behind here, about 3 seconds in behind. Doug Burrow in 9th place, much of the same, about 3 seconds behind Tattoo Freak, with Bar about 3 seconds behind Doug. Yoni is a little bit further behind this group, and then Ghost 45 here rounding out our field. And of course, we'd have had a driver retire from the race here due to failure. Ladies and gentlemen. It's unfortunate, but it does happen in racing. And ATK Cheater Tom making a look on Sir Churro. We're coming too wide through the chicanes. Going to take a very wide entry here. And Sir Churro getting a little bit looser as he's coming around that first corner. That is opportunity here for ATK Cheater Tom, but he does defend it off quite well, but he's going to get a poor run here. And ATK Cheater Tom not able to really take advantage of that mistake by Sir Churro there. So maybe he felt like there was contact there and he just didn't want to take the position at that moment. But he is battling coming into turn 1 here, and here we go. These 3 drivers have caught up to each other, and it is game on. Sir Churro going immediately defensive here, holding that inside line as he come around this sweeper to the left here, and ATK Cheater Tom is still side by side with him here. He's going to have the inside of the left corner, and here we go. Jay Stewart's just closing up. He's like, yep, keep battling, guys, keep battling, just a little bit longer. And side by side they come as we come around the next sweeper, ladies and gentlemen. And Sir Churro has a nice line through here, but ATK Cheater Tom is going to close off his exit. He's going to move up into the lead. So ATK Cheater Tom, who started on pole position, had an incident on the racetrack all the way back to the back of the pack, has found his way back up into the race lead. Sir Churro here in 2nd place. Jay Stewart very close behind in 3rd place. Neater still in 4th there in behind, and we are going to stick with this battle. This is still popping off here, ladies and gentlemen. ATK Cheater Tom is doing everything he can to lose Sir Churro here in 2nd place behind him, and Jay Stewart still in 3rd place. All 3 of these drivers are in each other's slipstreams. This can go off at any time. One driver makes a mistake, it will be position change. One driver makes a wiggle, it will be a position change. One driver loses focus for a split second, it could be a position change here, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be what's turning out to be a very crazy race finish here in our pro division tonight, and I apologize to the rest of our racers on the racetrack here, but this is where our eyes need to be. Sir Churro in 2nd place, and he is in a tough spot, trying to chase this man down, trying to hold this man off, and it is a battle all the way to the start and finish line. Lap 25, ladies and gentlemen. All 3 of these drivers are on their final lap. Who has the tire, who has the fuel, and who has the nerves of steel to bring home the top of the podium positions here tonight? ATK Cheater Tom having an absolutely spectacular drive here tonight. Sir Churro right there in the mix of it, and Jay Stewart's just falling off this pace just a little bit. It is getting very close, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get back through our field here real quick. Let's see what else is happening. We got Pickles still in 5th with Pork still in behind. 7th and 8th. Bar 27 in 8th. And we got Apex Tattooed Freak now in 9th. So something happening there. Yoni in 10th with Doug in 11th and Ghost still in 12th. Back to that race lead real quick to make sure we're not missing anything crucial happening in that mid pack. And ATK Cheater Tom here coming around. We're about midway through this final lap here from our lead drivers, and it is about to get spicy. Cheater Tom trying to drive away from Sir Churro. It has been a tough battle for him all night long, and he's probably feeling the pressure and the nerves here a little bit. We've got Sir Churro not opting to quite use as much racetrack and risk hitting the grass here at this point in the race. Able to hold that corner real nice. We got Jay Stewart here in 3rd place, getting very, very close, but just not able to close up Sir Churro here in 2nd place. So great battling from our top 3 drivers here very near the end of our race here, but it looks like unless one of these drivers really does something crucial here, this could be how this is all going to settle out across that start finish line. So checkered flag is coming very soon here, ladies and gentlemen. We have just a few corners remaining in our race here this evening, and we're going to sort out where these drivers finish in round 2 at Alsace Village Pro Division. ATK Cheater Tom has 2 corners remaining, ladies and gentlemen. 1 corner remaining. He's going to get around safe and sound, and massive congratulations to ATK Cheater Tom for a huge recovery drive and a race win. Massive drive from Sir Churro here in 2nd place, and Jay Stewart right there in behind, coming in 3rd place to round out that podium here in our Pro Division. Congratulations to all those drivers. KCR Nieder, great strategy, 4th place for him. Ricardo Pickles managing to hold Pork off, going to take 5th place. Pork is going to take 6th. Apex is badass is going to come around here. Final corner for him in 7th place. Good recovery drive for this driver as he had an early race incident, putting him to the back of the pack as well. Bar 27 is going to come around here and looking like 8th place for this driver. A little bit of track left to go here, but I don't think Tattoo Freak's going to have an answer for him. So 8th place for Bar 27 as he comes around here for his race this evening. Tattooed Freak coming around in 9th place. Solid drive for him. We have Yoni. He's going to round out the top 10. The other one-stop driver. And just about out of fuel is Yoni here as he comes across the line. We got Doug Burrow here in 11th as he comes around that final corner right now. Not the best of drives from him, but still finishing the race in 11th place. And where is Ghosty? He's a little ways around this racetrack, yeah, but he's on it. And his car is banged up. His car is banged up, chat. This driver has had a rough night. You can tell by the shape of this car. Take a look at this. He has front suspension and aero damage. He's got back aero, back left suspension. This driver is fighting this race car to the start finish line, but it looks like he's going to bring it home here. He is a lap down from the rest of these guys. Ooh, almost getting into the wall there, but hey, he's going to bring it home in P12. Does gain a position, of course, with the driver having to retire from the race, so always a positive and a negative, ladies and gentlemen, but what an absolutely fantastic race here by all the guys in our Pro Division here tonight. So we have something a little different than what we did last week. We are going to flip you all over to a podium screen, of course. We are going to jump into our Pro Division drivers chat here, and I think that we are expecting 2 of the 3 drivers to come in and do a live interview here tonight. And of course we do have a write-up from one of those podium finishers as well. So stick around, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to definitely talk to our race winner here tonight, and of course we're going to potentially talk to our 2nd place finisher here as well, and we have a write-up from our 3rd place finisher Jay Stewart here tonight. So I'm just going to flip the screens. Bear with me just for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to lose the audios just for a second, and we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are definitely back. And our third place finisher here tonight in our Pro Division race was Jay Stewart, ladies and gentlemen. Right there on the screen in front of you in the P3 slot is Jay Stewart. Now, this is one of the drivers who was unable to make the interview here this evening, which is absolutely fine, of course. It was just an idea that we popped into our head here tonight. And but he did provide us with some nice words here to speak on his behalf. So this does come from our driver Jay Stewart, our third place finisher here in round two, and we got the wrong. There we go. Graphic. All right. So this is what Jay Stewart had to say. My qualifying went really well. I got my personal best, which was a 149.8, so I was speechless and thrown off a bit, but I got my head right and focused for the long race ahead of me. The start was what I wanted, which helped my strategy. I knew fuel wasn't going to be an issue, so saving my tires was my main worry. Never Near the end my softs were out of tread, so I started falling back more than I wanted, but in the end I'm thrilled for my third place finish and can't wait for Blue Moon and hopefully get another podium. I just want to give a big thanks to all the admin and Yanni at FOR for this race. I find myself looking forward to these races and can't wait till the lights go out. A big thanks to Rockefeller Racing for the livery and team support, and GT45 for the fantastic commentary. Also, a big thanks to the Apex boys for the lobbies and helpful tips here and there, especially Badass for the strat. And to all the drivers out there, you guys are awesome and made for some thrilling racing. Compliments of RR LJ Super Ninja. Rockefeller Racing is LJ Super Ninja or Jay Stewart, ladies and gentlemen. So a nice little write up there from Jay Stewart here, as of course he was just unable to make the interview at this time of night, which we totally understand. So our second place driver was Sir Churro, and I believe he was going to try and make the live interview here tonight, so he didn't send us a write up, but we don't have him in the chat right at the moment. So we're going to jump up to our race winner here, ATK Cheater Tom or ATK Streeter Tom, ladies and gentlemen. And this guy, I mean, wow, what an incredible race, my dude. I mean, what else do we say?
Thank you, sir.
You got into the grass there and you got into the wall a little bit, and you didn't re-enter the track until the rest of the pack got by because you didn't want to interfere with any of the other drivers. So falling right to the back of the pack, and then slowly but surely, place by place, lap by lap, you find your way into first place with just a couple laps remaining. Talk us through it, my man.
It's just the pace. I mean, yeah, I got frustrated when it first happened. Cold tires. I wasn't used to being in somebody's draft. I overshot it. Just had to play it piece by piece, pretty much. It was strategy was crazy. Definitely had to switch it up a little bit. I had two ideas in mind, and I had to go with Plan B, but it ended up working out. A lot of good battles, though. A lot of it had a good fight. A lot of good fighting, especially near the end.
And I mean, when you're coming around, you know that all three of you guys that are up front, they're battling for those final podium positions near the end of the race. I'm assuming you suspect that you're all on the same strategy. Of course, any of the racers that are paying attention to the live timing boards while they're racing are very well aware of when the drivers are making pit stops and what types of strategies these drivers are on. So it's their own information coming to the end of the race. So were you aware that you were battling two other drivers on similar strategies as you?
Yeah, I did. I did notice as well, like, I did have a little bit more fuel each time going in, which also gave me a little bit more of an advantage, too, to slowly get them piece by piece. Um, but I knew they were definitely going to be competitive. This whole division is full of fast drivers. So I wasn't I wasn't worried, but I was also nervous, you know.
Absolutely, and I mean, you get the race lead, and Sir Churro did a fantastic job undercutting the field. Actually, with his final stop, he came just in behind the
Mhm.
one-stop driver Nieder there, who, unfortunate for him, really the one-stop just wasn't the ultimate strategy here this week at round two. Much like we saw at Watkins last week, that was kind of the dominant strategy. It was actually the exact opposite here this week. We did see the two-stop strategy really prevail, and you want to weigh in on maybe why that is, just for the viewers that might be wondering why it didn't work this week compared to last week's race.
Oh, the track for sure. You're going a lot faster in a lot of these turns, so I mean you're putting way more tire wear into the tires. I mean, even mediums. Like you can only go so far, and it just wears it down. You can't go as fast in the turns once those tires get so far down. You just got to be conservative. It's really all it is. Pay attention.
Absolutely, and I mean, really, when you think about it, Watkins Glen and Alsace Village aren't really all that different in a sense. I mean, they're both very undulating, twisty, elevation changing types of racetracks. I guess really the only difference between the two is Watkins Glen is kind of more designed for a high speed racetrack, where Alsace is a little more technical and mid speed. I guess would be make the difference for the one stop versus two stop. Do you think?
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
So
Definitely glad I did a lot better this race than last race. Last race I did horrible. So many mistakes at Watkins.
well, I mean, huge night for you tonight. I mean, you can't almost. I mean, obviously, not having the incident would have been the ideal situation for a race car driver. But I mean, when you talk about having the ultimate race, you have an incident, you go to the back of the pack, and you fight your way back for the race win, plus the pole point for pole position in qualifying. And I'm not sure if you held the fastest lap there or not, but it was a very
Yes,
good
I
one.
did near the end,
So I mean, we got a
I
clean
believe.
sweep in points for you. So you're going to be coming out of 27 point round two here for you. So regardless of the rough week last week, again, two drop rounds to consider as well,
Yep, yep.
which gives the drivers a little bit of leeway for real life to happen to start with, and or like we've seen from some of the drivers so far this week in round two, not having their best races at this really difficult racetrack. So,
Yep.
um, but I mean, great race, great recovery. I mean, when you think about sim racing races, I mean, where does this kind of where does this fall in your top list? You know what I mean? Does it fall in that top 10 races you've had in your sim
Oh,
racing career?
oh, 100%. I don't do many league races, so to be a part of something like this, it's incredible. I think this is actually only my second series doing a league race. So, it's been definitely interesting. It's been competitive. Met a lot of fun competitive drivers that are fast as hell. And it's badass. I love it. I love every minute of it.
Absolutely, and I mean, bringing one home for Team ATK. I'm sure the boys back at the clubhouse are going to be absolutely thrilled about that result as well. The series seems to be very popular here in North America, so it could potentially be a very quickly growing series. Maybe we see some more of your ATK teammates coming on board in season three, which would just absolutely add to the absolutely amazing elite drivers lists that we already have here in the series. But shout out to my man.
My team, Attack Motorsports International Sim Racing. We have a website, attackisrt.com. And then also our sponsors, boogamale.com, BOOGAMAILLE.com, as well as hardrockdaddy.com. I know it sounds funny, it's alright. And then you also have Bailey Designs, and then I also like to thank Flat Out Racing. You guys have been freaking wonderful, as well as the sponsors, Apex Racing, as well as GTR Simulator, man. Like that rig has motivated a lot of people to be competitive and fast, and you guys are doing a phenomenal job. And also GT45, man. I like all the streaming you do, taking the time to do all these streams and all these races, man. It's phenomenal. Love it.
Well, hey, we always appreciate the shout out from the drivers here. I mean, we hear it a lot, but it never gets old. When you guys are putting that kind of action on the racetrack, you really do make it just as exciting for the broadcasters as you do the viewers, and that's what it's all about. So, I mean, huge shout out to all the drivers in the pro division. Absolutely fantastic race. We have seen three great divisions this so far here in round two this week, and we're going to be here with Pro Am 1 division tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to do it the same way. We're going to run the race, and then we're going to see if we can get some of the guys to come in that were on the podium for a live broadcast. If not, we'll have them do a little write-up, and from what I hear, ladies and gentlemen, both the Pro-Am lobbies this weekend were absolutely crazy action-packed as well, so you're not going to want to miss these. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And, man, congratulations on an absolutely amazing race win. Definitely one for the books, my man.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I'm also looking forward to Blue Moon, man. One of my favorites. Next one's going to
Absolutely.
be a lot of fun.
That's going
Everybody's
to
going to be fast on that
That is
one.
going to provide some pretty good racing too, ladies and gentlemen, next week at Blue Moon Speedway Infield A. Oh yes, it is going to be a must-see for sure. But good luck to you next week. Again, a little extra motivation here, coming up with some big points tonight, and of course, like you said, that rig in the eyes of all the drivers here in all the divisions, not just the pro division, definitely motivating these drivers, and it is providing some absolutely spectacular racing here at Flat Out Racing North America. Absolutely appreciate ATK Cheater Tom coming in the night after the race to do a live interview. I hope you all enjoyed what he had to say. This man came prepared tonight, and just absolutely great interview with our race winners. So 2 different race winners here so far in the Pro Division early on here at Flat Out Race American. Cheers, brother. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, that's it. That's the only division we're going to be showing you guys here tonight. Oh, I know you guys want to see more great racing action. Presented by Flat Out Racing North America, sponsored by GTR Simulators and Apex Racing, and question mark, IMB Racewear. He's definitely been had in his eyes on the series, and we know the man is a legend, so we want to just give him his shout outs. We want him to know that the Flat Out Racing North America community absolutely loves him and loves his business, and we support what he does over there at IMB Racewear, and we really hope to see him step in as a very near future sponsor here into the series. So very exciting things here happening at Flat Out Racing North America. I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. The beautiful graphics we see here on screen are powered by Hypre Graphics, and we have a question in the chat, so just bear with. Nope, just Pro-Am 1 tomorrow, and then Pro-Am 2 will be Wednesday night at the same time. So we are going to break all the broadcasts up as individual broadcasts. We want to give all the drivers the opportunity to get a little bit of spotlight, the extra time with podium interviews as we move forward through the remainder of our season here. And of course, 2 of the divisions do get the live broadcast time, and 3 of the divisions are getting it done after the fact. So we want to try and give them all an opportunity to have their say on the mic and talk to the fans and talk to you guys, the viewers, as well, as we move forward through the remaining rounds of our series here. So we will have 5 straight nights of racing action here live at GT45 Gaming and Flat Out Racing North American YouTube, and Pro-Am 1 tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, 9 p.m. Eastern, and then of course Pro-Am 2 Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern as well, and with the drivers can make it, of course, live interviews after the race is done. So much love to everybody, all the viewers that came in and showed the love tonight. Miller Time Gaming coming in from Facebook with the huge time love in the raid as well. Welcome Raiders, welcome Raiders. Much love from Miller Time Gaming, and we're going to pay that forward, ladies and gentlemen. Before I shut the broadcast down, I'm going to move over to my Facebook page, and I am going to go throw a raid towards another creator as well. Pay it forward, show that love back to our streaming community, because we don't get to see action like this without all those amazing content creators who put in all that hard work behind the scenes. Miller Time Gaming is one of those hard-working creators, ladies and gentlemen. Go check them out over on Facebook Gaming and on YouTube. Got Fred coming in with that massive sub as well over on the YouTube channel. Much love, everybody. You guys are killing it here. I always hate to let you guys go because you guys just in here showing the love. And but we'll be back tomorrow night to hang out with y'all again for another hour and a half or so. And Pro-Am 1 with our BRZs, GT 300 GTI GT3 race cars, and same racetrack, Alsace Village. This track is designed for this particular car. Those should be 2 fantastic races. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and most importantly, stay winning, because you all matter. We love you very much, and thank you so much for all your support.